Perfect. So ready to meet your prison guards? So good. Actually, I am really impressed that you are here. I am really impressed that you are here. Inviting women on a PSD healing journey is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, including giving birth, you know? Why? Because of prison guards. Consider that the invisible in the prison of PSD has been in existence for many generations. And women have learned in no uncertain terms that it was the only way for them to stay safe is to stay in prison, not shining brightly, not making money, not sharing their gifts, not expressing authentically their thoughts, their sexuality, their desires. So when we are, the invisible in a prison is threatened by the possibility of your jailbreak, you know what happens, right? It's a very intelligent system. It's designed to keep you safe. So code red goes off, all the prison guards activate, and they do anything and everything to keep you from stepping into that possibility of jailbreak. Anything and everything. Well, that sounds very dramatic, but if you consider how much of your time, energy, and consequently money is spent on dancing with prison guards every day, day in and day out. Let's just make some invisible things visible. What you think, right? They show up in how you think. The stories they spin about who do you think you are? Oh, this will never work. You can't do it. You're too old. You're too young. You need another 5 certifications and degrees. Who would want to listen to you? No, other people get to have it, not you. It's not for people like you because fill in the blanks. Prison guards always have perfectly, quote unquote, logical explanations that even have some truth to them. And we know that that's prison guards operating because they very effectively block us from our freedom, from our fullest self-expression, from abundance, from love, deeper layers of how good can it get. And they very effectively keep us in the game of survival, of how much can I bear. That game that we got down pat over generations. We inherited that game. We know it very well. So when presented with an opportunity of a jailbreak, how good can it get? The entire prison security system activates. So let's share in the comments what prison guards were coming up for you as you were looking at coming to the event, as you were going through the registration process, as you were getting ready, as you're setting this time, right? As you're preparing to dedicate this time, what stories were they telling? Why you can't do this? Why you don't get to do this? Let's share them in the comments and then witness each other and then see if there are some commonalities there too. So good. I know this already. The desires are selfish. Stop whining and get over it already. Gotta work. Too much time. Gotta work. Work. No time. Work. No time. Work. No time. Work. That's That's the patriarchy beat. The truth is, yeah, thank you. The truth is that patriarchy has owned women's time as it has owned women's bodies. Let that puppy sink in. Let that puppy sink in. That patriarchy has owned our time and our labor, including labor of childbirth, because men owned children. Women didn't own their own children. I mean, it sounds odd, owning, but in terms of parental rights, right? A woman didn't own jack squat. Not her body, not her life, not her money. Remember, 1960 was the first year a woman could even open a bank account in the US. 1988 was the year when a woman was able to take out a business loan in her own name without a male relative co-signer. Recent goddamn history. And you know what's the most accurate history book on the planet? It's your body. It's your body. The mind will tell stories. We know partial history. We don't know all the actual facts, right? History gets spun this way and that way, according to the agendas, right, of powers that be. Our bodies keep a very accurate account of all the traumas that we have experienced and our ancestors as well. So the prison guards showing up to keep us safe and telling us stories that, no, I don't own my own time. That's basically the translation of this, like too much time, right? My time does not belong to me. And I don't get to make the money or keep the money or have wealth, abundance. No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you. Those thoughts are not personal. Just look at in the comments, right? It's like all the same themes. All the same themes. And the outcome of the prison guard activity is always the same. Nothing changes. You stay in your prison cell. And for some, it may be a more comfortable, decked out cell. And I was very busy decorating my prison cell for many years. More diplomas on the walls, renovate the house, more diamonds on my wedding band when my marriage was in crisis. No, I'll just put more diamonds on that shit. Things will be okay. My prison cell was decked out. And what we're doing together now is really confronting. And you'll have moments throughout this weekend when you will have a lot of prison guards come up. Right? It's not done. It's like, yeah, you were here. This is a huge win that you were here. Huge win. Amazing. I'm shocked that you're here. You know how many women got the ticket, how many steps you've gone through to get here, right? Register, answer the questions, do some deep soul searching, make the time, be here. How many women have done that? And they're not here right now. Prison guards have got them. And prison guards are really great at actually even manifesting circumstances that all of a sudden show up. You know, have you ever had the experience of, oh, you just had an influx of money, like money coming in, and then all of a sudden the bills come in too. Whew. What happened? Why am I at zero again? Prison guards are really, a really interesting phenomenon. If it sounds a little esoteric, let's bring in some hard science. Neuroscience shows that our actions are decided in our subconscious. Our actions are decided in our subconscious. Your conscious mind has nothing to do with your life at all. It can exacerbate suffering or create some soothing stories for you. But the mind is the last one on the bus. The mind is not driving the bus. So if you were told that your money issues are your money mindset issues, right? You just need to change the way you think, and you'll be a bazillionaire. You might have tried that and come to your own conclusions. Unfortunately, the conclusions that women tend to come to are something is so wrong with me that even this does not work. Yeah. Like manifesting doesn't work, therapy doesn't work, mindset work doesn't work. I must be so broken. Bullshit. You're not. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you, my dear. We've been oppressed for thousands of years. We've been oppressed for thousands of years. And this oppression lives in our systems. And that oppression lives in our subconscious, and it creates the orientation from our subconscious. It creates that bias to make decisions based on safety. As long as there is unprocessed trauma in the body, in the nervous system, the subconscious is going to always make decisions based on that trauma. And if the trauma for us has to do with not having money, right? It's not okay to have money. It's not safe to have money. And as we go through the weekend, we'll actually unpack that. And we'll unpack those stories so that, again, we see it's not our personal stories. And we'll get into the body, and we'll get in touch with how that story lives in our body. And so, because it actually, yeah, it's not the mind story. The mind creates different stories, as you've seen from the comments, right? So the subconscious will always dictate the choice. It will always make the choice that's going to protect your safety. So to the subconscious, the prospect of you breaking out of the invisible inner prison of PSD, that's been constructed, that was constructed to keep you safe in the unsafe world of patriarchy. That prospect is really threatening. And so the subconscious has already decided that you're not going to do it, whatever it is, right? Or you're not going to get to feel it, or you're not going to get to be it. You're not going to get to have it. The subconscious has decided that. And then the mind and actions, that's the top level of prison guards. That's the tip of the iceberg. Then the mind tells the story why. Oh, you don't have time for that. There's no time for that. There are kids to take care of, husband to feed, work, always laundry. Or I know it already. Maybe you've been on the personal development journey for a long time. Hey, me too. And the prison guard goes, oh, you know it already. It's not going to work because you've done it all before. The story, trying to change the story, working with the tip of the iceberg, is like rearranging the chairs on the Titanic deck while still on the collision course with the iceberg. We can do mindset work, till we're blue in the face and keep on changing the stories. Yeah, some stories are easier to live with than others. Yeah, sure. Why not? Totally. But if we don't address the root cause, which is the trauma in the subconscious, our subconscious is driving the bus, not toward our desires, but away from our desires. Because the desires represent danger. Desires represent danger. Because there is nothing more dangerous to the patriarchy than a woman who's in touch with her desires. And we all know what happened to women throughout history who followed their desires in any way. Bad things happen. Let's just leave it there. And in much milder terms and ways, bad things happening now. How women who are stepping into their power, speaking their truth, how they are attacked on media, social media, how they're portrayed. I mean, we know that. We don't need to go into that. Even beside the point of what we know and what we think, it's our subconscious that knows that and calls the shots. Every time you turn on the news or you log into social media and you see those hater comments on women's bodies or women who are visible and speaking their truth, whatever, for some reason comments always have to to do with women's bodies. And other things. Women are not trustworthy. That's a very popular patriarchal narrative. Think about the story of Adam and Eve. Can't trust a woman. A woman has poor judgment. A woman is the source of sin. A woman is the source of all evil, right? None of us may believe that. We may not believe that consciously. But our subconscious gets plenty reminders every day. Every time we get triggered, and then the subconscious goes, oh, see, just as we thought, not safe. It's unsafe. Don't go there. No. Having money is not safe. No. Being visible is not safe. Forget about it. Just stay quiet. Don't rock the boat. And maybe you'll be okay. And then it manifests in our relationships between women. Too, there is the same judgment we apply to ourselves, we apply to other women. And again, it's not our fault. It's not women's fault. There is also that collective defense mechanism, collective prison guards, if you will. Because when women police other women, how women look, what they say, how they act, their choices. Oh, you're not a good mother because you work a lot. Oh, you're not a good woman / feminist because you're spending time with your kids, right? All that BS, like you can't win. You can't win. In the patriarchy casino, you cannot win. You cannot win. The house always wins at the end of the day. You can be walking the line, doing all the things, checking off all the boxes, but you slip up. Oh, I'm aging. You lose your chips. Oh, like I gained weight, lose the chips. Oh, I'm a bad mother. Your chips are so gone. It's an unwinnable game. And so when women judge other women, when we judge one another, these are prison guards that are maintaining us in compliance, also collectively. If I'm policing you, I am keeping everybody safe, right? Oh, do you see what she is wearing? Like, it may be a silent judgment, but it's coming from the same place. And that is a huge, big rabbit hole to unpack. Those prison guards. How is it landing for you so far? Just Yeah, what prison guards, oh my gosh, so here's what we're going to do throughout the event. Just from time to time, we're going to give a big shout out to prison guards that are present. I'll be checking in with you from time to time, like right now. What prison guards are present for you right now? Remember, they can show up in the mind as stories, thoughts, right? Tip of the iceberg. They're not driving the bus, the subconscious is. Then in the body, they may show up as tightness, aches, pains, shallow breathing, hormonal imbalances. Oh my gosh, that runs so deep. Uh, Autoimmune disease, 70 to 95% of all cases are women. Autoimmune is rooted in inflammation. Inflammation is rooted in stress. Stress is rooted in trauma. We are living in constant stress. Our bodies are carrying a huge load of that and paying a huge price. Trouble sleeping, trouble getting in touch with sexuality, arousal, orgasms, anxiety, depression. All of these start out as trauma defenses, prison guards. If we're living in an unsafe world, anxiety is an appropriate response to danger. It's a fight-flight response. But unless we know it is and we have the tools to work with that, it then can become chronic. And it's not fun. I had incapacitating anxiety, panic attacks, for years in therapy, years figuring out what's wrong with me. I started doing trauma work, gone. I couldn't speak up in class to save my life. I had anxiety that completely muted me. Now I speak to huge audiences on stages, and it excites me. I had depression. I had 2 episodes of major depression, suicidal, whole 9. Years in therapy. Depression is an appropriate response when you're oppressed. Just let that kind of simmer in. Also, prison guards are showing up in our actions and our choices, addictive behaviors, all sorts of what we would describe as self-sabotage, maybe things that we do that actually reroute us from, okay, I need to be going here. I know I want to go here, and I go over there, and I don't know what happened. Like, I have this very important proposal to submit, and my prison guards go, oh no, she's going to get more visible. Double down here. Here's a to-do list. Call and make a pediatrician's child visit appointment for 2021. It's urgent. No, you got to do social media research. It's urgent. And the day is gone. Another day is gone. Maybe it's only me. Are you experiencing anything like that? Put some of your prison guard, thank you, some prison guard discoveries in the comments. What are your prison guards? What do they say? How do they impact your body? How do they impact your actions? Whatever you feel like sharing, and we can witness one another.